Free yourself. Free your mind. Free your heart. Let it go free. Free yourself.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That sound means we are live. You are live right now with Troy Weeks Music on Saturday nights. Free yourself. I'm just going to do a little intro to tell you what Free Yourself is all about. Free yourself is the final step of the process. It's the release, the woosah, the moment when you cross over and transition from victim to victor. All the steps you needed to get here should have been covered by this point. You should now be ready to be ready for the rebirth of your new beginning. If that has you thinking and you're not quite ready to free yourself, that's fine. The moment when you are ready, we'll be right here and it won't be taken lightly because the awakening depends on you. In this segment, we will let people call in so that they can publicly free themselves from what's been holding them down or back from being great and moving forward in their lives the way they choose to. Freeing yourself. It's a symbolizing of the letting go of the stronghold and having the power over it. Doing it publicly allows you to tell that situation, that thing, that through the power of spoken word, you're now in control of it, and it is not in control of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, for those who are listening, that's what Free Yourself is all about. That's the basis of Free Yourself. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Troy Weeks Music. I'm going to have girl Coco on the line with me, hanging out later on. Coco, you there, right, girl?
I'm here. Hey, everybody.
She here. Hey, that's right. Coco's here. Coco is the founder and creator of Savage Media Radio, ladies and gentlemen. So if you don't know, now you know. It's because of this woman that I'm here doing what I'm loving to do. So
Aww.
with that, that's right, Coco. Thank you so much, girl. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so with teaming up with Coco and Savage Media Radio, we also took Free Yourself to the next level. It's more, it's not just, oh, I want to free myself from this. It's a process of a whole bunch of things because we're living in a day and age where people are going through a lot and they're not saying anything. They're going through and holding on to a lot of things. And we need to free ourselves and let go of all that negativity so that we can move on and be the great people that we need to be the entrepreneurs, be the bosses we were created to be. So that's what this is all about. If you got a dirty little secret that you want to air out on air anonymously, you want to reveal your sexuality to your loved ones on air, has somebody hurt you and you want to just be heard? Or do you just want to express what makes you free? We want to hear from you. So if you're in the chat room, say something, let us know you're there. If you're listening, email us, let us know you want to say something. More than welcome to. The floor is open to anyone and everyone. There is no shame in our game. There's no judgment. We're just here to spread love and positivity, and give everybody that little clear that you need to just,
That's
know what,
right.
get rid of that past and move on with the new you. And so with that, I want to just talk a little bit about myself, and then I'm gonna switch things over to you, Coco. With me, I feel like awesome teamwork, baby. Let's do it.
Right? We got this.
I feel like we got this. I feel like with freeing yourself, the reason why it all came to me on the whole purpose of it is because I was once a person that had everything, holding a lot of things inside. I'm a very nice person, easy-go-lucky. People run over me a lot. Well, used to. Let's get that clear. Used to. And so before that, I was just going through a lot, and I would hold on to all the things I went through, and I was always a pillar for so many people would come to me for advice. Oh, this and that. But, when you're a person that gives advice all the time, there comes a time when the tables turn and you need somebody or something or things pouring into you. And that's usually the problem. And so when I ran into that, when I was really down and out and I didn't have that support I was looking for that I needed, I had to either free myself or risk the chance of losing my sanity. I had a nervous breakdown. So after that, I realized, you know what? I cannot no longer live life for anybody else but myself. God gave me a purpose to live, and he gave me a destiny on my life. And what I need to be figuring out is what that is and making sure I'm living that and stop focusing on things that I shouldn't be focusing on. That's taken away from my purpose and destiny in life. So I decided to free myself. And in freeing myself, the first thing I did to free myself, and this is real talk, I'm real honest with God, I had a big animosity against my parents. Because my parents lived the life they lived, and they choose to do the things that they choose to do, and it wasn't my choice or theirs. It wasn't my choice or theirs. And unfortunately, it wasn't my choice, it was their choice. And because of the choices they made, I had to live the life I lived. And unfortunately, it wasn't an easy life, but I'm blessed. And I thank God every day for the life that I live. And I don't regret anything that I've lived, but it wasn't an easy life. And so in that, I resented my parents because it was their fault. They made these choices. They did this. They did that. And I had to I had to say, you know what? I'm a grown man. I'm not a kid anymore. I live on my own. I take care of myself. It's time to stand up. And I let it go. So I apologized to both my parents. They was like, why are you apologizing? I'm apologizing to you for how I felt inside against you for what you've done in your life. I'm not holding those demons against you anymore. I'm moving on with my life, and I forgive you. And from that moment, it started the process of me freeing myself. And I haven't looked back, and it's been a great place in my life for me, and a great start to the future, to where where I am now, and the future I will have to come. So that's freeing yourself, starting with Troy Weeks Music. Miss Coco,
I
talk to
love
me.
it. Can I
Thank you so
actually,
much.
you know what? I feel like this is a very therapeutic type of podcast. So I feel like not
Very
only do you
much.
need to free yourself, but you need to have someone kind of like, you know, guiding you along to maybe let some more out of it out. So I have a couple questions for you before I get into my story, if you
Oh,
don't
I like
mind.
this. Go ahead. No, let's get
um,
it.
when you say their lifestyle, I would like to know maybe perhaps what it is that what lifestyle that they led, or even just like a tidbit, if you don't mind sharing, what it is that kind of made you resent them. What were the
Sure.
circumstances and your experiences?
Sure. So just to give a little bit of background on my parents, like I want to go full detail in because that's definitely like a whole 2 hour
Whole nother
special.
world.
But
Gotcha.
but I will touch the surface. At the end of the day, my parents were very young parents when they had me and my twin sister. I have a twin sister. Shout out to you, Troy. Even though you don't want to call in
Woohoo!
and support me, I'm shouting you out right now. I'm being shady, but
Trifling.
I still love you, trifling sister. But I love you anyway. Um, I have a twin sister, so my mom and my dad were 16 and 17 and turned 17 and 18. So they're very young when they had us. And they were both living their own lifestyle, still, living life doing one or two. And of course, during that time, everyone's into drugs and partying and doing all that. So my parents were caught up in that. And so, your grandparents tend to take over and start taking care of you. My mom has 5 sisters. So, I spent time. Let's take it. For those who don't know, I'm Black and Puerto Rican. So my mom is Black and my dad's Puerto Rican. So
Hey.
that's where, the salsa and all of that comes from in my life. I'm definitely Boricua, baby, so don't get it twisted. But representing Harlem all day. But so I had a mix of that. So I grew up on both sides of Harlem. But my black family lived on the west side, on 144th and 8th. Shout out to love you guys. And then on the east side, my grandparents lived on 107, 108th Street. So when it came to all of that, I had a little mix of both. But my parents were really not there the way they should have been. So because they weren't there the way they should have been, I was just like, as I got older, I started getting involved in things. I joined the gang at one point in my life. I think I was 9 and joined the gang. And I was like, my mom was like,
Oh
no, you
wow.
got to get it out of here. That's what life can do to you. That's the reality of life. That was serious.
Mhm.
And I was like, so I'm so glad my mom took me out of here. But even in that, I've lived in a shelter. I was, one of those unfortunate kids. Sometimes I didn't even have school clothes. For the first day of school, like to not have school clothes for a kid back in those days was everything. A new outfit or two for the first couple of days of school. But it was even,
Mhm.
deeper than that. Like no food, sometimes no lights at some points. Like it was
Mhm.
real life. So I had no say in those things. Because of the choices they made, things happen. But to God be the glory, because I was able to say, you know what, I forgive you. I was able to move forward in my relationship with God and with my parents, and I have their both love and support right now in my life, and it's amazing. So
I
I wouldn't
love
take it back.
it. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that definitely answered my question, and I guess I know it definitely opened up the book to the people that are listening right now, because it's hard to lead off with I had a hard life, or I've had to deal with things, or I resent people for some things that they did. So everyone always wants to know the other side, like what is it, what actually happened. So for you to share that, we totally appreciate that, and I know it's probably hard to share something so personal and so intimate. So I definitely commend you for letting that out. That was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, at the end of the day, I asked for this. I opened
Mhm.
myself up to the world, and so I've already begun the process. The fact that there's things in my life that I never really spoke about in public that I have to be public and open with. And at the end of the day, it's not about me anymore because it's somebody's life, somebody's situation, something they're tied to my situation. I'm not the only one going through, and if I can be the vessel to be able to be the voice for somebody else to say, wake up and get woke to what can be the best for them, then hey, I'm down. And I'm grateful for the opportunity and the platform. So
I love it. Well, thank you for
mhm.
sharing. Is it my turn?
It is your turn,
It's my
Miss
turn. Oh
Coco.
no. I was hoping you would be more lengthy and I could, avoid this. No, but no,
Listen,
not at
I
all.
love it. Let's get it. Right.
I'm very brave. I'm very open. You know me. I really don't care. But it's odd when you're preparing to share something like personal with everybody and God knows who is listening.
Got you.
Um,
Right?
right? It's interesting. It's not scary. It's just very fascinating because
Right.
you're bringing people into another part of your life. When on our live show or me and Carlos' show, we're being silly, we're sharing opinions, but we're not really delving deep in within ourselves to share something that's very intimate. But I guess for me, it's kind of falling in line with you. I don't have the same experiences, but I have to say, my mother, unfortunately, she passed away when I was 12 from breast cancer. But
Sorry
I
to hear that.
do.
Wow. I didn't know
No,
that,
thank you.
Courtney.
Appreciate
Wow.
that. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I was 12 years old. I think she had it for about like 2 years. And then she passed away. She was 42. So she was young.
Wow. So young.
But
Wow. Right. Right.
it's hard for me because it's hard for me saying this because I feel, like this may make me seem kind of off, but I really held a lot of resentment towards her, even
Mm,
after her passing, because my mother was very unconventional. She was very not strict, but she was a huge conspiracy theorist. So I was very sheltered from a lot of things that a lot of kids around me were exposed to, and I
mm,
grew up poor too. I was homeless at one point as well, but those weren't really the rocky parts of my life because I was much younger. But
mm,
when I started getting to the age where, having play dates or having, social interactions is very important in your development, I feel
mm.
like I kind of missed out on that because I remember like being 6, 7, and 8, and all the neighborhood kids would be in one part of our cul-de-sac, and it was one of those rich white neighborhoods, not rich but like middle class white neighborhoods. So it's
Gotcha.
not like there's a ton of danger or anything, but like she used to always say, oh, they're they're not really playing. They're actually having a meeting. Their whole family is having a meeting about how they're going to get better education, or she'd make up these silly things to
Whoa.
not make it really to not make it seem like she's just doesn't want me to be around other children. It would be these things that a normal kid would be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, I'll just go play. But for me, I grew up around a lot of adults, so I was a little bit further ahead. So I
Got you.
knew
Uh
she
huh.
was just sheltering me. And I remember for years and years and years, up until, sadly her passing, I was unable to kind of be around a lot of people my age. I was homeschooled for most of my elementary school years.
Mm.
I was kind of out of
Okay.
touch with a lot of kids. Not only was I homeschooled, but I couldn't have a lot of play dates. It would take weeks and weeks and weeks for her to ever let me have anyone over. Um, like to ever agree to let me have anyone over, and it happened like literally like 3 times a year. And I couldn't go
Wow.
far. I couldn't really do anything. Like, and plus, because I wasn't in school, it made me socially awkward because I'm
Got
around
it.
a lot of adults. So I have a different type of personality, and it just made me odd to other kids. So
Right.
after she passed, I went back into public school. My father got me back into public school because he didn't really agree with her taking me out either. But you can't, happy wife is happy life. So he
Right.
had to
Right.
do what
Right.
he had to do. But I guess they didn't realize how detrimental that was to my development because once I got into middle school, all I did was get into fights because everyone thought I
Culture
was
shock.
weird.
Right. How did you handle it?
Exactly.
Right.
Everyone thought I was
Wow.
weird. I didn't know what anyone was talking about. I didn't know what music people were listening to. I didn't know what shows were on TV because I wasn't around children to have that influence with. So it really kind of caused me to doubt myself a lot, and so I think that's a lot of the cause why I have so much anxiety now is because I
Mm.
have like myself. I'm confident to a point. I have really low self-esteem when it comes to like having friendships and strong relationships with other people. Like I commit and then I get worried. I feel like I look strange after a while, or are they talking
Gotcha.
about me behind my back or things like that. So I just feel like overall I resented her because I feel like she kind of sh- sheltered me too much and made me so out of tune that now I feel like I'm just playing catch up. Like I feel like I didn't have that childhood, and now all I want to do is do all this fun stuff and do all these and make all these
Got
friends
you.
and be
Like Michael
super
Jackson. Like I
social.
want to, play with the kids. I want to do
Exactly.
this.
Like I
Like
want to be
got you.
social. Like
Got
I
you.
want, like I'm planning 4 vacations this year because I just feel like before I start having children, I gotta kind of
I saw
catch
that,
up.
boss lady. I saw
Exactly, right?
you. Okay.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm trying to
That's
catch
all
up,
right.
it makes me happy but sad at the same time because I feel like I wish I didn't have to rush the way I have to now. If I would have had those experiences, I would have been,
You would have
my yearning
been
would have
fulfilled
been
in a
over.
different way.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I would have kind of felt fulfilled and I wouldn't be trying to rush to do all these things. But, I have forgiven her. Of course, rest in peace. Of course, I have to and I want to.
Got it.
But I do think it was definitely detrimental. And now that I'm older and I've blossomed and I've become my own, I I'm looking forward to all the things that I'm planning on doing to feel fulfilled, but I just wish that I didn't have to do it so fast. But I have
Gotcha.
forgiven her, and I'm at peace with it. So I'm definitely freed because I've overcome all those obstacles, and I didn't grow up being weird. I didn't grow up grow up to be like, a loner. I'm very extroverted. I don't hide from anything. So I'm
I can
happy
definitely
about
see
that.
that from when I went to your house, and
Yeah,
met your
right?
family, right, and your husband and everybody. Yeah, you're definitely the most like outgoing,
Yes, I try. I
and the most
try. Thank
authentic.
you.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, you're definitely striking. Like on the phone, you get that, and definitely in person. So
Thank
awesome,
you. I
awesome.
appreciate it. But yeah, that's kind of
Wow.
long-winded, but I had to get that out because I don't talk about that a lot to a lot
This
of
is
people.
this is my point. This is why I didn't say anything because there was a couple of points I wanted to put a pen and say, hold up, wait, because
Yeah.
I got some things for this, but you know what? I was like, you know what? It's a release. It's a woosah, and that's definitely what I
Exactly.
said
And
when I
we can
started
keep
out.
going on
So
for as long as we feel like going on, buddy. This is the pilot episode. Okay, we don't got
listen,
any
I got some questions
rules.
for you. This is a
Okay.
start, and I'm gonna bring Carlos in. I know he's
Real
listening.
quick. Also, we have Noemi on the chat, and she says hello. She says a
Hello,
big
Noemi.
hello.
Big hello.
She's
Thank you so
actually a
much for
good friend
listening.
of mine. We went to school together. She's awesome. We're so happy for your support. So Noemi, thank you
Thank you
so
so
much, and
much.
hello.
Shout out to you, girl. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna forget that because it's the first one. You can't,
Hmm.
you the first one in the chat. We shouting you out, girl, all the time. We
Right?
appreciate you. We got to
Right.
get you to call in one day too. Now
So
is the
I'm
next
ready for
point. We
your
got to get you on.
questions. I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
Yes. Don't be nervous. First of all, I'm proud of you, and I'm gonna say I'm proud of you
Aw,
because we've done 6 episodes now, guys. If you're listening,
I
Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock.
know.
Check us out. We're now on iHeartRadio. Boom, boom. We're doing big things.
Yes. Woo
So
woo.
yes, please check us out. But on Wednesdays, Courtney doesn't do a lot of talking. Let me let
I
that be
don't.
known. Courtney is pretty much she keeps everything going, but she's pretty much the icing on the cake because there's 5 guys in her. So it's
Exactly.
just like
There you go.
so this is a different side of you. So I get to get you in a different light. So I'm so thankful. So
Oh,
let me
thank
jump right
you.
in there. You're welcome. So one, thank you. I was going to ask you if you forgave your mom. You said you did. So that's
Yes.
definitely the first step. Thank
Yes.
you. Boom, boom, boom. First step. And now I want to add, you keep saying about, I get what you're saying about how you missed out on things and you missed out on time and you wish you
Mhm.
didn't have to. Because trust me, we're both saying the same thing. But in
Mhm.
regards to you saying, why does it have to be so fast? Why do you feel like it has to be a time frame on how you have to do things? Excuse me, because of what you didn't experience. And the reason why I say that is because I'm in the same boat you are. And I have to think about, wow, but like, I didn't really have a childhood because I had to grow up fast because,
Mhm.
I had to be the man of the house because my dad wasn't there. He was living his life, doing what he had to do and getting his life together. And so I had to be the man of my house. It was me, my mom, and my twin sister. And then my mom eventually had another daughter, Tiana, who you may hear from later on today. So, my younger
Mhm.
sister. So at the end of the day, I had to be a man real fast. And so because I had to grow up fast, I realized now as an adult, I'm like, dang, I'm like a big kid. Like I didn't get a chance to do this. I didn't get a chance to do that.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to do all these
Exactly.
things I want to do before I have a kid, right? That's what you said. And
Mhm.
so now, speaking from the other side and having a kid, I realized that, and I used to tell my sister, my twin sister who have kids as well, I said, kids shouldn't stop your life. They should enhance your life. And so when you start looking at it in that sense, you'll realize that you could do everything you wanted to do times 10. Because now you have your kids to help to live vicariously through, to
That's
experience
very
those things
true.
you never experienced before. So I was like, wow, like now I get to go to the little kid parks and I get to
Yep.
go to Sesame Street plays and I
Get to
get
go
to
to
go see all
Disney
these kids
World.
shows. Come on, I get to do all these things I really didn't get to do.
Mhm.
I did some of those things when I was a kid. My grandmother, my Puerto Rican family were very, very much on love and hugs and
Mhm.
they vacation. They definitely took us out to do stuff like so. I got to experience some of that stuff growing up. So I was grateful for that. But now I want to be able to do those things I didn't do. So I want to tell you, challenge you not to feel like you have to be rushed to do all these things at once because tomorrow's not promised to nobody. And you out here planning all these trips, being a boss, which is awesome. But we'll have tomorrow's not promised, and the stress and all those things that go into it. You're not only doing
Yeah.
that, you're hosting your own event. Your own Comic-Con event, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like it's a huge thing. You've been doing it for a couple of years. Like it's important. Like it's a lot of things. So definitely take time for yourself, but don't forget it's all a process, and you're
And you
still
know
in
what,
that
Troy?
process.
And I
Hmm.
appreciate you saying that because actually my husband tells me that all the time. He's like, you do so many things at at once, but he doesn't realize, and a lot of people, and I understand because he came from a wonderful, I came from a wonderful family too, a wonderful supportive family, but he experienced things that he wanted to experience. He got, he always tells me all the time, I loved middle school and high school, and I'm like, geez, this shit sucked for me. What? But he enjoyed his childhood, so it's hard for him to understand, where I'm coming from, where I have to feel, I have this issue also that comes with my anxiety that I have to always be planning something. If I don't, I go into really deep depression. If there's nothing for me to
Because you feel
plan,
like you ain't doing nothing, like, oh my God, you're wasting your time, time's going by. It's okay to sit back, relax, and just smell the roses while you're still alive, okay?
Exactly. But no, you know what, I feel like I have to rush because I am a people pleaser, and I know when I have my children, which I'm planning on doing, we're planning, to start trying later this year. That's more sharing.
Amen.
So more sharing involved. But I feel like once I have my children, I want to enrich their lives with everything they want to do, everything and anything. And I'm crafty. I'm going to make sure they have the best art projects at school and just really kind of dive in head first. And I don't want to have time for myself, and that's just how I am. I don't know why I'm like that.
You've conditioned yourself that way, though. You're not gonna have time for yourself ever. Trust me.
Exactly.
You're gonna find a way to do something for somebody else. I've already seen it, and we only know each other so little time. So I understand how that goes. But think about it this way. I just got something when you were talking about your husband. Look at the positive in the fact that he did have all this positive. So first of all, you're gonna get a person who doesn't have those negative experiences, which can be hard because as an adult, a lot of people still have to face those things and dealt with those things. They're still holding on to it. So that's a whole other situation you have to be worried about dealing with because you're with them. So the fact that he has that, and I get it that he don't understand, he doesn't relate. But the fact that he has the balance and he can maybe, help you see things in a different light. Because if somebody had the same issues you had, in a sense, sometimes it's not hard.
It's baggage on baggage.
Right. So y'all got a whole, y'all going to pay a lot of baggage fees trying to get on this plane.
Exactly. Exactly. So, we kind of complement each other, and I love it. And I love how happy he is. His family is so close, and they've welcomed me. So it's great because it was only just me and my parents. So I'm not used to having a big group of family. Now I have a big family, and it's like I get to experience it and not be tired of it like somebody would. Like I get to kind of appreciate the fact that I have these new people in my family. My family has grown twofold, and I get to enjoy having all these personalities. So definitely a good balance. You are totally right with that.
That's what I'm talking about. See, look, it's all about process, and don't ever forget that. Like it's not over. You're still going through the process and understanding that, and knowing that sometimes you got to be like, okay, even when things get too much on you, you do it too much, you plan it too much. You know what? It's still part of the process. Take a break. Exactly. It's okay for me to stop and get a coffee and relax because it's too much fun. Right.
I'm learning.
So, yes.
This podcast is my thing. Like this podcast is my break from life. I love it. I enjoy making everything run. When I do talk, I love it. I love to talk. So this is my break. This is my me time.
And there's nothing wrong with that because you do very well. And, you can definitely make a lot of money talking. Okay?
Right?
So nothing wrong with talking at all. Exactly. I think that I'm loving where this is going. And I'm so glad that, you were able to be here with me in this first episode to get things moving. Because I feel like once people know what's really going on, it's definitely going to be the platform it was created for is definitely what it's going to be. I'm glad that it can start with you and I. For sure. Let's get
our girl in the chat. She said it's awesome, and she also said she's got us. She's listening. She's supporting us. So that is awesome. Again, we love you, Naomi. You're dope. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Naomi. We love you, girl. Thank you for the support. Continue to let everybody know what's going on because at the end of the day, you got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
And we started right here with Savage Community Radio for real talk. Let's get Carlos in. Carlos, we're gonna bring Carlos. Carlos did it in on this call for yourself.
Right.
He's definitely he's one of the hosts of The Voices that we on Wednesday night. He also hosts on Friday night, Real Shit Fridays with Coco.
May we get crazy.
Yo, first of all, if you ain't listened to a Friday night podcast, you need to do it. Because I have to, we do my snooping and see what's going on, and check it out. I definitely enjoyed it. I learned some things that I didn't know before. That's what podcasts are about. First of all, I'm not a podcast listener, and I'm being real. And then so when I started getting into it, it made sense to me, like why people listen to podcasts and what's the point of it and all of that. It's like reading a book, but I can laugh and joke and feel like I'm sitting there with you and have a conversation. It's like all in one. Imagine if you're having a cocktail while listening. It's like a party.
We
So
make
I
sure
totally
to make it
understand.
feel like family and like we're just being around people who don't judge, and we just kind of are ourselves, and we hope to make everybody laugh and everyone know that, it's okay to be real.
It is okay to be real. Listen, we're not robots, okay? So it's okay to feel, have
Exactly.
emotions, and it's okay to be able to vent. Sometimes people don't have an outlet to vent. And I want people to be able to
Exactly.
be an outlet to vent and not just have Facebook and social media as an outlet, because that can get you tied up too. That's not always a good thing, especially now, because social media has caused us to be so socialist. And it's kind of sad when the name of it is social media, but we're so socialist. And I'm going to always keep saying that because that's how I feel. Like, we're so focused on the phone. Every time I see people on dates on the phone, I be wanting to slap the phone up everybody's hand.
Right?
Boom, boom. You on a date. Like, how you
Exactly.
getting to know each other and you on the phone? That's just disrespectful. So, we got to find a way to get away from this social media and focus more on getting and being more social with each other. And so that's what I got to
Which
say
I
about that.
totally
But
agree. We definitely have to have a
totally agree.
one-on-one conversations. It's healthy. You can't depend on technology, and you can't depend that's not your relationships, that's not your outlet to be yourself, because everyone's fake on social media. So it is
Hello,
what
all
it
of us had our
is.
fake moments. Don't get it twisted. We done wore something in the store that we thought we was gonna be, that we was gonna, be rocking. Oh, I'm gonna take a picture in it, and you never even bought it. Okay, stop playing. We all
Right.
had our moments. We've all had our moments, so we've done what we did. So it is what it is, and we're not trying to take it away from it because it's life. It's the moment we're in right now. But it's time to step away from this social media and be more social with people, because we're falling apart from that. And at the end of the day, that affects you. You can't even have an interview. Not to go off track, but you can't even have an interview now in person. You got to do it online, sitting at your house with your suit and tie on top and your underwears and your
Exactly.
sweatpants on bottom.
And it's like
It's
this is not
awesome.
real
It's
life.
amazing, but not real life. Okay, how do you know me? You don't know my personality. I can be putting on to this camera. I mean, I study theater. I'm really good at putting on.
Right.
I'm a server. I do it every day. So in that, come on. Like, I just feel like we got to find more ways to be social, and that's my
Exactly.
goal as an MC, as an artist, with every platform I have, is to be more social.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna wait a little bit longer for our next I guess what are we gonna call them? I don't want to call them callers. I don't want to call them listeners. I want to call them like something. We have to have it like something
Yes, we
unique
got to
to this
figure it out.
podcast. To
Something
freers. No,
unique
that
to free
sounds weird.
yourself.
No, freers
Like,
sounds
no,
sexual.
not free years. We're
Um,
gonna figure it out. I guess that's gonna come.
we'll
In
figure
regards to
it
free
out.
yourself, though, like the victors. That's what I
There we
say, because
go.
you
See, I
become
like that.
go from becoming a victim to the victor. You're taking over that situation. When you say you're no longer going to be beating me anymore, sir. You're no longer going to be, cheating on me. You're no longer going to be treating me less than I'm worth. Whatever it may be, whoever it may be, whether whatever situation you're in, you're going from the victim to the victor. So all the victors, that's what we're gonna call you.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, what I'm going to do before we introduce our next caller is I want to ask you one more question.
Sure.
What I was thinking about this as I was talking. I have like ADD, so I'm like all over the fucking place.
Right,
Um,
right.
but bringing it back to your situation, I just wanted to know, um, when you said that you had a breaking point during the time that you were struggling and had the resentment for your parents, what was that breaking point? That was one thing I wanted to ask, because before we move on, I just want to come back to that, because I don't know the next time I'll be
Yeah.
able to talk to you about that.
Right. I think there were two different points. One was with my family. So I had left. I went to high school in Atlanta, Riverdale High School. Shout out to Riverdale High School, first of all. Sierra went to high school there. Miss Sierra, Pop Princess, Plunky B Princess, whatever
Hey.
you want to call her. We sang in the choir together. Awesome and cool experience. Had some awesome. Listen, fact. People always thought I was lying. I don't have a reason to lie. Anyway, in that moment, I left Atlanta and moved back to New York when I graduated. So in that, I was living in Atlanta with my dad, and we had only been in each other's lives for like 4 years. My
Wow.
dad, I called my dad up when I was like 13. He had got his life together, was doing other things. And I'm like, Dad, my mom can teach me how to be a man, and there's some things that I need you to teach me, and I got to change my life, my scene. I got to change. It has to change, or I'm not gonna be able to deal with it anymore. And he sent for me and my twin sister, and we ended up moving to Atlanta, and we stayed out there and got our life together in a different way. We learned responsibilities. We lived in a house. We had chores. Things were different. So, we got to see things differently. But the elephant in the room was still the fact that all those years of not being there, and all those, trying to fit all those things into one. The issue we had was he wanted to fit all the years that he missed into those 4 years we had, or 5 years we had. You can't really fit those things in. And so it caused a wedge between us. By the time I left, I really had a resentment towards him. I didn't want to be near him, talk to him, hear his name. I was just angry. Like you just didn't take time to just focus on what you had at hand. You were so focused on trying to push things in that you just focused on, you got lost in it. And so,
wow.
I'm so glad to be able to be, again, where we are now. We're in such a place where he's very loving, supporting. We love and support each other, and we come a long way. And it's great to be able to have those moments and look back. And that's why this was Free Yourself is all about. And when I moved to New York, I left my dad and came here, and having all that on top of me, I moved my mom from Virginia back up to New York because my mom had my little sister I told you about earlier, and I didn't want her growing up down south. Things happen in the South, kids grow up different, and I didn't want her to grow up without me. And so I moved them here. And so I had my mom here with me with her issues that she came with, and my issues with my dad already, not resolved. So it was all that at one time. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
No, I totally understand. Yeah, that definitely answered it. I just I'm not nosy. Don't think I'm nosy, Troy. I just like to know, how I can better be a friend to you as well as, a co-host, No, I love to know the backgrounds of people just because it helps me be a better me towards you. I like to know what people have gone through. I have a high respect for everyone's background, so I like to know as much as I can, as much as people are comfortable with sharing with me, because I'm a very, I'm a people pleaser. I love to know who you are and what you've been through so I can know how to not hurt you. You know what I mean? That's how I've been with everyone. It makes sense. That's how I've been with everyone. I think we have Chase on the line. I think he wants to share something. Do we have Chase? Chase, are you there?
Hi, Chase. Hi, it's me, Chase.
Hi.
All right, Chase, how we doing? Welcome to Free Yourself, brother.
Good. Sorry, I got a little bit nervous. So yeah, I have something to get off my chest. So I work in property management. So you get like a fair amount of clientele. You get working class professionals, you get families, and then you also get the Section 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, Section 8 people where I work at, they're white. About 98% of the time, they're white people, and I'm black. So the issue lies where they think that they're still better than me because I'm a nigger. And it's like, but you'll rent $10 a month. Where in life did you go wrong where your rent is only $10 a month? I mean, you went right somewhere because it's $10 a month.
Right,
but you went wrong because you need some assistance. So how are you still thinking that you're better than me because of the color of your skin?
Unfortunately, we can't make America great again if people still thinking that way. Unfortunately, with the situations that, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope Courtney, you sorry too. Hope we're sorry to hear that you're going through that. First of all, no one deserves that. And at the end of the day, you're the property. Don't let whatever they say, do, think, or in your atmosphere, in your space. Don't even let them even take any of your sunshine away and your thoughts. Because at the end of the day, guess who? You're the property manager, okay? At the end of the day, they're coming to see a property that you're managing. So at the end of the day, what they think or how they look up or how they make you feel, or at the end of the day, baby, I got all your records and all your paperwork right here with all your information on it.
I got so much shit on you right now.
You should be nice. But, at the end of the day, how you kill that is that you still kill them with kindness. Because at the end of the day, they're going to continue to be the way they're going to be.
I want to stop you right there. I don't believe in killing them with kindness.
Ooh,
I'll kill them in addiction.
Talk about it.
And you'll be out. Your Section 8 be gone, and you'll be looking at me like, what the fuck? I'm going to get you like, well, I don't know what happened. I guess this little old nigga just took away all your rights and shit. So.
No, Chase, don't do it.
You know what?
Chase.
I love Chase. Chase is my best friend.
I'd rather be petty.
I'm so fucking petty.
I understand why. Listen, that's what power is all about, and we have that choice, and we have control over that with the power that we have. So I get it.
Like Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. I just go low.
That was
good.
Your
ankles out.
I love it. I love it.
Listen, I guess as long as what you're doing is illegal, then you can do it, what you choose to do. But I just feel like my only thing that bothers me with that whole thing is karma. And I feel like even if you have the power, because you have the power, it's just karma for me. So it's like at the end of the day, that's why I say kill them with kindness, because you still got the power, because you still getting your paycheck at the end of the day. You still going home living the life you want to live, even though they're being the way they are. You can't change people. You can change them one at a time, and how you change them is just be you every day and be proud of who you are. Hey, yes, I'm black and I'm proud. Guess what? I'm still a property manager and you're still a tenant. Okay, cool. Got it?
All right. End of the day, I do believe in karma, and that's why Karma God sent me to be their karma, just so they'll learn. Don't do this to the next person.
Don't do this to the next Negro who's a property manager. Okay, you're gonna learn today.
I love it.
Wow.
I love
Listen,
it.
well, you definitely the victor over that situation. I wouldn't mess with nobody that's signing my lease, though. I'm sorry, that's kind of stupid.
That's what I'm saying. The nerve of these people.
Thank you. That's all I had. That's all I had to get off. So thank you for letting me get that off my chest.
Thank you so much, Chase. We appreciate you. Thank you for freeing yourself with us today. Tell your friends, call when they want to free themselves too. We're here on Saturday at 7 p.m. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Chase.
And I'm sure a lot of people agree, and a lot of people are going through the same type of issues, and you get so frustrated, but you don't have an outlet. And that's why I'm so happy, Troy, that you brought this outlet for people to be able to speak their minds, and, either anonymously or open. We don't say last names, so even if you say your first name, nobody's baby mama gonna be tracking you down. So
please, not here. I don't want anybody suing me. I ain't signing no paperwork. I ain't see nothing. I'm not one of those people. Look, I'm trying to come. I'm on the come up. I'm not trying to utilizing my money in court fees to try to get out of it.
Exactly.
No,
but
this is. Go ahead. I'm listening.
This is more like a healthier version of a therapy, and you know why? Because I feel like a lot of therapists and a lot of people are going to be pissed at me for saying this, but I think a lot of therapists, even though they take oaths and stuff, I feel like they do judge you. I feel like when I'm telling my story to someone who's like certified to fucking listen to me, they're not gonna put their effort into actually listening and understanding my situation more than just trying to figure out how to diagnose me. So when you're around people who are not there to judge you and you're just here to hear your story, we don't interject very much. We just want them to get it off their chest, because when you interject, sometimes you can change a thought pattern, and you really want that person to kind of be themselves and let it out. So I feel like this is just a positive and a healthy way to just get out anything you need to get out. And it doesn't even have to be bad, guys. Even if it's just something that you want to tell that is something you have been through, but now you've done something else to make you now feel free. Just express that, because then you can definitely be like an inspiration to people that are going through something, and they're like, you know what? Maybe this will work for me too. Maybe I can get out of my slump because what Samantha said she did, or what Taylor said that he did to get out of his depression. We can just be there, and all of us at once can just kind of help the listeners and help each other kind of get through whatever we got to get through.
I agree 100%. I feel like at the end of the day, it's not just about freeing yourself. It's all about being positive, motivating, and inspiring other people. At the end of the day, people need a hug. People need to hear, I'm here for you, I love you, whatever it may be, but mean it and genuinely mean it. People need to hear these things, y'all. This is real life. People are going through. If you live in a big city, especially a big city like New York City or New Jersey or Connecticut, if you ride the public transportation, even if you're in traffic, because now so many people live here, and so many cars, okay, so much smog in the air, you can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? But there's so much negativity in this world right now. We living in that day and age where, like, most of the people, I can't speak for a lot of people, but a lot of people hate the president. You know what I'm saying? They hate what's going on in this world. The government shut down right now because, they can't come to an agreement. There's a lot of stuff going on. Exactly. So what do we have the positivity to turn to? And it used to be the music. And me, Troy Weeks Music, I'm all about my music and inspiring and motivating the world. And music today isn't making the change it needs to. That's the problem. We need to go back to we are the world, all of that stuff. We need to go back to that, what's going on. We need to go back to those kind of things. This is real life. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on that people need to, have outlets for. And the music was a great way of having that. And it's not the way it should be. So I'm hoping that with Free Yourself, with my music, with all that I'm doing, that it can inspire somebody to be great, to be whatever it is they want to be. Stop thinking about what the world sees you as and see yourself. Look in the mirror and tell your own self, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous, I'm handsome, I'm intelligent. Put those adjectives in there. It's a whole bunch of them. Put out the dictionary.
Exactly. right? But we have 5 whole minutes left, so I thought of something kind of fun that we can do, just to keep the energy up before we, turn everything off.
Right.
But even if you just want to call in or have us call you and just air something super petty, because like I said with Chase, I am a very petty person. If you listen to Real Shit Fridays, I'm so petty, it's ridiculous. So even if you just want to spit something out that's been irking you, or there's something like a pet peeve, anything, it's healthy to get anything out. So with that being said, I want you to tell me something, Troy. I want you to tell me and tell the listeners of Savage Media Radio, what is something petty that irritates you that you just want to get out? And I'm sure you're very passionate. I know you have something.
I have 2 things. Okay. First thing I'm going to say is the New York City public transportation system. Let me say this. First of all, it's not to them. It's to these people, grown-ass people on the train. Stop. First of all, we all got places to be and things to do. We all pay the same money to be on these trains. Nobody pay VIP prices, extra get in front of the line prices. We all pay the same thing. We all got to go to work and have stuff to do. Take your book bag off, your big purse, your suitcase, whatever it may be, and let these 3 other people get on this train so people can go to work and do what they got to do. I'm just saying. That's that. Because I'm the crazy person that you'll see. Excuse me, there's space on the train. Move over because I need to get on. That's me. And people can look at me crazy if they want to, but guaranteed you my $275 is getting me on this train just so they got you on. Move over. So that's that. First and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, I'm a server. I work at Olive Garden.
Oh, yes.
Don't worry about it. But let's be clear. If you ain't got no intentions on having enough money to pay for your service, don't leave your house. Let me tell you why.
Don't sit the fuck down.
Exhibit A. When you came into the restaurant, somebody said, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Let me sit you down." Exhibit A. Exhibit B. When you sat down at the table, somebody like me walked over, right? Took your order. Exhibit C. All your food just magically appeared with Casper and the Friendly Ghost on your table. You ain't seat yourself. You ain't take your order. You ain't go make the food, or you ain't put the food on the table. So, Sam, regardless of what
3
the
times
service was, you still need to look out, because we still got to pay the people that sat you, the people that made the drinks. We still got to do all that. And people don't understand that. I had to get some school kids real fast, real easy in the last 1 more minute. I had to give some school kids a lesson. They came to Applebee's when I was a server and the bartender, and I took care of them. And these little jokers thought they weren't going to get no tip. But I had to give them the breakdown and let them know. When you walked in here, you ain't seat yourself. When you sat down, somebody brought your drinks and made your food and did all that. So don't play me. At the end of the day, these kids gave me 20% times 2. I'm just saying.
I think you spoke for like millions and millions of servers out there. Somebody needs a voice like you. You need to be the voice of, like, the head of their union, because you definitely have spoken, right?
Right.
I have to tell mine real quick. And I've said this on Facebook. People who follow me on Facebook, hey, everybody on Facebook, I love you all. You're like my second family.
Hey, Facebook friends.
Hey, best friend. But no, I've vented about this on Facebook once or twice or maybe 14 times. And it's when people are telling a fucking story and they find the need to tell me what color someone was or what race they were, and if it's not relevant to the story. So, here, Exhibit A. So I was driving down the street, right? And this fucking dick cut me off, right? I was just driving, minding my business, and he just went right in front of me. It was a white guy. But and then they keep going. Why did I need to know what fucking color this guy was? Was it relevant to the story? Like, I don't know why that irritates the shit out of me.
Then it was a white guy to cut him off.
Like, I don't give a shit. Like, get on with your fucking story and go somewhere. Like, just tell me.
Did you pop off or you didn't pop off? Because you sound like you popped off by talking all that trash. So what you
It's like, I don't know why. I need to know, like, the interesting part. I don't want you to stop and tell me, oh, he was Indian. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, or somebody was like, oh, I served, waiters or something. They'll be like, oh, I served this guy last night and he didn't tip. Oh, he was this black guy. But, he got the steak and blah, 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 blah. And then yada. I'm like, I was like, is it he didn't tip because he's fucking a black guy? Or now I have so many questions.
Put a pin in it right there. Put a pin in it right there. Let me tell you that. I've noticed, let's be clear, a lot of servers who don't get no tip It was a couple of reasons. There's a group. The stigma right now is there's kids that are coming to the restaurant. I wish there was a age limit. I wish you had to be 18 or older to order food. I'm sick of it because these kids are coming and won't leave a tip. But hey, it is what it is. God is good, and somebody else will leave a bigger one. But
Exactly.
at the end of the day, if they don't leave a tip, that means your service was probably really, really not that good. I'm gonna be real because I go in there every day and I tell them, hey, I'm in charge of your experience. They're like, what experience? I'm just sitting here to eat. I ain't know nobody no experience. And that's when they get caught. They're like, oh, you think you at Disney World? You are at Disney World when I'm your server. You came to the right table. That's right. I'm the one. So little key things like that will, add on to will make people be like, they will think they're somewhere else and they'll treat you like the way you treat them. My mother always told me, don't do something to somebody you want done to you. So I always operate like that. I don't mess with people's food. I don't do nothing crazy. I don't get crazy with them. I just be like, look, this is what it is. It is what it is. And that's that. That's why they got managers and supervisors for. My name tag just says Troy. It don't say supervisor. It don't say manager. It don't say none of that. So I ain't got to worry about dealing with that. That's what they're there for. I just provide the experience, and that's that.
Listen, I'm feeling the energy in the room. Are you in a rush, Troy? Because if you're in a rush, I can just do this damn thing by myself. But I think we should keep this going for a little bit longer because I feel like this is giving people ideas. I feel like the more we talk, the more people are like, "Oh my God, that sounds like me. I want to share this. I want to share that." So we have a couple heads in the chat. So if they have something they want to share, even if you guys want to just type it in, we can let everybody know.
If you're in the chat room, come through. Let us know you're there. Let us know you're there. Let us know you're listening.
Exactly. Also, guys, just to let you know, if you ever want us to call you and you want to air out something, whether it be anything, like we said all throughout the show, please let us know your Skype. You can email us at savageonair@gmail.com, or you can PM our page, which is Savage Media Radio at Facebook. Okay, so it's not at Facebook, but when you go on Facebook, you search Savage Media Radio, we will
Instagram
come up.
As well, yep.
And you can PM us, and we'll definitely kind of get a little background of your story just to make sure that it's not something that could be deemed offensive or something that we wouldn't really want to share on the air.
We're not trying to go to jail.
Exactly.
We don't want to put nobody else in jail either. Come on.
Exactly. And so if you have anything that you want to share on for yourself, please hit us up on email, savageonair@gmail.com, and or PM us, or even on Instagram. We're on Instagram. I'm not good with the Instagram. Carlos really kind of handles that, so he'll most likely get back to you.
We got a team, baby. We got a team. Let us know. We out here checking for y'all.
We have a team. We have fellas. I'm like what's funny? I changed our description on I don't know if it was on iHeartRadio or something. I changed the description of the show, and I described it as this: we are something to the effect of we're a bunch of people who are too not afraid of being honest or something like that. And I said it's made up of five dicks and one vagine, and so we have a lot of people going around. So if we'll get back to you guys quickly.
Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, that does sound enticing. I don't know what you're talking about,
right?
But I might just click play just to hear it. And it says explicit by your name. We got dirty minds.
Right?
It says explicit and it says listen. Let's go. We listening just to see what's going on.
Right?
Yeah, it's definitely something like wow. Like it's just crazy how it all just happened. We all came together, and we're all over. Like for those of you who don't know, we don't record the podcast in the same place. We live all over the United States. Okay,
yes.
We're all over the place.
Yes.
And we make this thing work, and it's awesome experience. And look, from that we got Free Yourself, we got Real Shit Friday, we got so many things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, Savage Media Radio is taking over. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're taking all over the world. I mean, anything I touch pretty much turns to gold. So you guys are pretty lucky. I mean, not saying much though. Just saying.
Sounds like Courtney. I get it. I love it. This is why you are who you are, Coco.
I try.
I'm definitely not ready to get out. Is anybody saying anything in the chat room? Anybody saying anything? Anybody out there? Let me check my Instagram and stuff while we here just to make sure.
Yeah. I mean, this is live. This is off the fucking cuff. This is how we do a first show of a segment. I don't care if you're bored, just listen, and eventually we'll say something you agree with. I promise. Just hang in there.
And that's a good plug for if we don't, that's why you're here. You can chat with us in the chat room, or you can email us and we'll get you on so you can enlighten us. Sometimes we need to be enlightened, and I'm down to be enlightened. I'm not against, I love learning something new every day. That's what life is all about. Learning something new every day. So call in, let us know what's up.
Okay, we actually might have another story Let me just I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna try to get them on the line, but you can look in
Okay.
the Instagram and see if there's anybody else that might want to hop
Yes, I'm
on
looking at
this
them
crazy
Facebook
call.
now.
I love
Yeah, no
doing off
problem.
the cuff
I
stuff.
wish I can go live, like actually.
What you mean? Oh, mean like a live, like like Instagram live and shit? That kind of live?
Yeah, I can't do it at the same time. I'm on my phone. I don't have a
Because
computer, y'all.
technology is just not fucking there yet. So,
Yeah,
but
I need to get a Kickstarter or something to help me get a GoFundMe, get a computer. I need a laptop. I'm using iPhone for everything. Shout out to 7 Plus iPhone for making me,
hey,
giving me. I'm doing podcasts and everything on. Shout out to Miriam Rojas, one of my old coworkers who's listening in. She gave me the big thumbs up.
Marion or Marianne or what? What is it?
Thank you, Miriam. I'm texting her right now Miriam Rojas.
Miriam. Oh, hey,
Miriam.
Miriam, what's up? You got a sexy name, girl. What's your number? What's your number is?
Listen, you married. Calm down.
All right, I think we have our girl Noemi on the phone. Hi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how are you, girl? What's up?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We are
Girl,
good.
we're
We're just being random as fuck, and we don't really care, cause we're just having
just
fun.
free yourself, baby.
We're freeing ourselves.
First of all, shout out to you for being the first person in the chat room here with us, making history with Free Yourself. It's only the beginning, baby. Shout out to you, Noemi.
Hey, man. I love Courtney, and
Aww.
I've been there for her since we've known each other since middle school.
Yes,
Middle school?
we go
we
way
real
back.
Look, I graduated before her, and she's been my dog. I've always had her back, even when people were just like looking at her, and I just like, look, man, y'all, everybody's different.
Aww.
We're not all made in the same cloth. So
yeah,
That's
thank
what I'm
you,
talking
sweetheart.
about.
I
That's
appreciate
real
it.
friends. That's real friends. Okay, I'm just saying that it's hard to find real friends now. I'm just saying, 'cause a lot of people want to steal your dreams and goals and aspirations and all these kind of things.
Right?
So
right?
It's hard to find real friends, especially you can say you had friends 10 years. Come on, who you
Right?
know can really
Like
say
this
that?
is
I mean, I know
this
y'all,
is
man,
like
but who you know?
milestones.
Who you know?
I'm
All right,
telling you.
what do we have to share? Did we want to just come on and have a crazy talk with us and just free yourself, like in general, or
Man,
did
let
you
me
want to talk
tell
about
you.
something?
Tell us.
Let me tell you. Courtney, as you know, I have twin boys,
Yes.
and they
I'm
were
a twin.
born at
Shout out to
24
twins.
weeks. Yes, they were born at 24 weeks.
24.
Yeah.
Wow.
My one son is cerebral palsy. My other son is autistic, but he just got diagnosed as autistic. My one son has been in and out of the hospital since birth. He's had 32 surgeries.
Wow.
When I tell you he's a godsend, he's a godsend. That is my little angel right there.
Amen.
But what really ticks me off is when, you go out in public, people sometimes look at you different, sometimes they don't.
Got you.
But the one thing that pisses me off even worse than just people looking at you is the doctors. They walk in, and especially when I have to go to the ER with them, they all look at me like, well, are you sure you're doing this? What the fuck do you think I've been doing?
Wait. They asked you that question?
I had one doctor.
Crazy.
I've had one doctor look at me because they didn't know me from jump. They've never seen me in the ER. Majority of the time when I walk through the ER, no matter which one here, because I moved from Jersey to Florida.
Got it. Okay.
So, if I go to my local hospital, they know me. If I go to like one that's close by, which is Orlando or Tampa, they all know me there. But sometimes I have to go to St. Pete.
Gotcha.
And when I go there, the doctors look at me and they're like, well, are you sure you're feeding him?
Wow.
What the fuck do you think I do?
Excuse me, is this not my child or your child?
That's fucking crazy.
Oh my God. I tell you what, it is like the most disrespectful thing. And most of the doctors are like, look, she really does feed her kid. My son has so many bad medical issues that he is a failure to thrive for the rest of his life.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, you only fail when you stop trying. That boy living every day, you seeing him every day is a blessing. And that at the end of the day, you looking at him, that's all that matters. And that God don't give us more than we can handle. And I want to say, I'm proud of you for being strong. because it takes a lot to take care of a child who may be autistic or cerebral palsy. I know my uncle has a son who has cerebral palsy, so I know it's not an easy thing. So I want to say shouts out to you for being strong,
Yes.
powerful.
Yes.
Mom, I don't know if are you together? Is it? Are you a single parent, or you have both parents there, or is it?
No, actually, their real father decided to up and leave, got married, and moved to a different state. He hasn't seen
Holy
them.
fuck.
But but God blessed me with a man who actually took in my kids, and
Aw.
for the past,
Can we say his name? Can we shout out?
Yeah, I was
him
gonna
too?
say, what's his name?
Sace.
Sace. Shouts out to you, Sace.
Hey, shout out.
Shout out to you, bro.
For the past
Coming through.
5 years, we've known each other for 5 years, like friends wise. We've been together for 3. But he took my kids in. He doesn't even look at my son as if he's different. He loves him like he loves the rest of the kids. He doesn't single him out. He doesn't, and like that's one thing I love because even though he is on a different learning level as everybody else, he still gets an ass whooping just like my kids do when he does.
He's still a kid.
wrong.
He's still
Okay.
a kid. Come on, Mom. Don't play games. Go ahead.
I don't look. I truly believe in punishing your child.
If we didn't get punished, we would not be the smart, creative, smart ass adults that we are today.
Okay.
Exactly.
Like capital punishment is what it needs to be. Don't be playing and be like, oh, I'm gonna call DCF. Bitch, call DCF on me, please.
Try
call
me.
You
me.
don't want to be one of those kids from foster home to foster home. You better put on one of these. I got a scary movie with foster kids I can show you. Don't put on one of them movies. Them kids don't want to call nobody.
But you know what though? You know what, girl? It amazes me because you're such a strong woman and you go through so much, but you still hold your head high and you don't take your frustration out on the world. I always see, you're not like me where I'm obsessed with Facebook and I'm telling the world everything, but when you do, post about things that are going on in your life, you're so respectful and you're like,
Courtney.
just, to the facts, and you don't judge. You're just being open so that if other people are going through the same things or similar situations with their children, that, they know that they're not alone. And I just feel that when you do your live videos and you're telling everyone, updating everybody, I feel like I'm a part of your life, and that's a great way to be, especially when you're going through so much, instead of hiding and closing everybody out. And I think that's so strong of you, and I just thank you so much for being the way you are.
Oh, girl, I haven't changed. I'm still my little asshole self from high school, though. I ain't gonna lie.
But
I
it's
still tell people like it is.
Exactly.
Can I answer that though? Can I answer that? Real talk?
Yes,
Like at the end of the day, you inspire me right now. And there's a lot of people. I've never heard somebody who has a kid who has cerebral palsy or autism speak up the way you did. And I hope you can be a martyr. You can be out here. And you know what? Like she said, I'm not following you now on Facebook because now I need to see what's going on for myself. First of all, second of all, maybe we can have you come back and be able to be in Free Yourself at some point, do a segment or help out with something and be able to be that for another parent who needs help. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it ain't easy out here.
I'm up for it because here in Florida, I'm actually helping out in my own town some parents who, because let me tell you, the whole difference between Florida and New York is that, if I lived up in New York or Jersey, he would have gotten Social Security way back when. I got denied 6 times of Social Security for him down here. Now the first
6 times. Y'all listen 6 times. Come on.
The first 2 were because, I was still married to their father. And he was in the military and we made too much. So, that I can understand for the first 2. But after that, when we got divorced, it was denied. And I was just like, why? For what?
Give me a reason,
I brought him into the Social Security office. They looked at him and they're like, why are they denying him? I said, I don't know. I said, y'all got to tell me.
Yeah, y'all need to figure that out.
The system is set up to go against us, and that's the problem. But like I told you earlier, you only fail when you stop trying. Did you get approved for it?
Exactly. Yes, I did. I finally got approved for it. They gave me back pay for him, and I was fine.
You about to make me start shouting on me? Come
on.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. God is good. For real. Yes.
God is
good. What happened is that there's a lot of once a lot of parents, whether it be a child who's getting Social Security or if it's an adult who has the same thing, I started a little group down here for parents who don't understand what type of services that they can get. And when I started doing that, their friends started calling me from different states who have kids who have special needs. And they were like, well, what are our things here? Now, Courtney can tell you that when we grew up in Jersey, my parents were police officers in our town. So I couldn't get
They're the boys.
So I've done my research, and I've been still doing my research at different states to figure out what the different things are and what their possibilities are so that they can get their services. I have an aunt that lives in upstate New York that she's actually helping me get parents to what they need to do because she's a social worker.
Wow.
Oh, wow. You're doing all of this from where you are?
In Florida.
So you're being more of an advocate for those that are in a similar situation as you, and that's beautiful. Like to use your stress and your frustration as an outlet, you know, to be able to have an outlet in helping other people. That's something that's so selfless, and a lot of people don't do. You know, it's more like, why me? Why me? I got to deal with this. I'm not helping anybody else. I can't even get my shit straight. A lot of people are selfish like that, but because
I was like that, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and everyone goes through that phase, you know.
The first 2 years when they were born, I was just like, why did this happen to my kids? Why could and I blamed myself for the first 4 years of their life. Like, you know, I could have done so much better.
Wow,
and
that's a lot to carry, right?
That was my downfall because their father, when he and I were married, he was over in Afghanistan. So, you know, it was hard. On top of that, we were going through our little spat. You know, I had to come back from Germany to Florida to have my kids so I wouldn't be by myself because he didn't want me to be by myself with 2 kids over in Germany.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So, you know, it was just like a whole lot of stress, and I was coming back to a whole lot of stress here back at home too. So it was just like my parents were divorcing for the second time. I was just like, son of a bitch, I can't win no matter what.
But you're winning right now.
You are winning.
I am winning. I'm back in school. I'm going to go get my RN.
Devil.
Look
Bye.
at you,
Bye,
girl.
Felicia. That's what I said. Bye,
But
Felicia.
you know, the more I feel like I'm helping people, even if it's not with Social Security or if it's not with their knowledge on what they can get for their kids, I also help people. You know, like Courtney was talking about psychology. Yes, we do. When we talk with people, yes, we do judge. I'm not gonna lie. I do judge.
See, I know my shit.
We needed that. Thank you for the facts. That's all I'm saying.
You're
I wanted to
welcome.
make sure I
No
wasn't
judgment.
sounding crazy.
But I am different from what they do. I'm not one that gets paid. I'm the one that you can come to and I will look at you and I'm that person that says, you know, well, what should I do from here? I'm not the type that's going to say, well, how do you think you should know, bitch? No, that's not me. I'm going to turn around and be like, well, you should have fucking done this the first goddamn time.
Yep.
And then...
Come on.
You're going to be real.
Sometimes they need to hear that. They need to hear that.
And
you
that's
have
what I
swift
do.
kick in the ass from people who actually cares about you. You know, that actually wants you to succeed.
Genuinely
and wants you to
cares
get
about
better.
you, right?
Exactly.
People need that. Can I challenge you, Noemi?
Noemi.
I'm not sure if you have. I know I'm a little bit late. Don't worry. I'm not sure if you have this already. But if you have, do you have a Facebook or anything that you started, like a group on Facebook or anything like that for this particular
I have
reason?
not started the group yet, but I do have my Facebook, and that's how some people get in touch with me.
Love it.
Okay. The reason why I say that is because if you start on Facebook alone for that particular purpose, people are always searching and looking for things, and people find you.
Right.
You got to first take the first step. And the reason why I say that is because you're already doing the things you need to do. And the only thing missing is that first step is saying, you know what? Separating the two. The reason why I say separating the two is I had to do the same thing. I've always had one Instagram, one Facebook, one all that, right? And that became Troy Weeks Music, the brand, the artist. Yes. And I wanted to separate the two because you have to separate the two when it comes to business because you want to keep your private life separate in a sense, and you want to have your business to the business. So that we talked about that on our Wednesday night once a couple weeks ago. So in that, you want to be able to separate the two. And so that's why I'm saying that, because you never know. God can send an influx of people. All it starts with this. This is live. And it being live, it's recorded. And being recorded, it's going to go across the world to whoever wants to hear.
So, yeah. So basically,
yeah.
you want to separate yourself from being, there's got to be two yous. There's got to be Noemi the mom and Noemi the advocate. And if you do that, you could go so far. being an advocate and being someone that people could come to, if they need aid for something, or they need, someone to talk to that's been through what they're going through, and then on the other end, you could have your private side and kind of be able to be you, and have your venting and the things that you're going through, because you're a very strong person, but everyone has their weaknesses, and you always want to be an advocate for somebody at your strongest. So it's good to separate, like you said, separate the two worlds, but still be you in both worlds, and do what you do best, which is help out everybody else in your situation, which is the great point that he brought up, though. It's very important to separate business and personal. Like for me, people on my personal Facebook, some of them don't even know what I do. They don't know I do the shows that I do. They don't know the podcast. They know because, I'm real on here, so I'm going to be real with them. And a lot of my friends, are supporters, so I'm going to let them know what's going on. I'm going to keep them updated with the podcast. But when it comes to my business, they have no idea. They don't know Miss Coco is Miss Coco Boss Lady. They have no idea. But, but I do what I do best on both ends. So.
Right. Definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Wow, this is a great first episode. Thank you. Well, first of all, shout out to all of y'all ladies. I wish I had a clap button. I pressed the clap.
Wait, Troy. Wait, ready for it? Hold up. You gonna?
Wait. Let me say something. Hold on. Let me say something first. Then you press it.
And I'll press it.
Let me know when. You ready? So look, I want to give a shout out to all of y'all that first listened to this episode, that believed in me, believed in Savage Media Radio, believed in us, and allowed us to be able to be your ears for this time being. And those of you that's getting ready to listen to it, who may not have a chance to listen live, we want to shout you out too. So this applause is to all of y'all. Shout out to every last one of y'all. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna get some more applause. We're gonna work on these buttons. Trust me.
You know what, Spreaker? Shout out to Spreaker and their lame ass button effects, guys. That was a weak ass applause, but thank you for actually putting in these effects.
Thank you, because without it, I would have just been here with my big old hands trying to clap.
Right.
So thank you for that.
I'm like the 15th person that's complained about these effects probably in the past week.
Right.
So they here's my outlet, guys.
They probably got your review somewhere.
Somewhere.
Bleep it out.
Somewhere.
Right.
That definitely. Thank you, Troy, actually, for bringing this platform to life. I would have never had this idea. I would have never been this brave to want to not only express myself this way, in a personal level, but also sometimes people don't want to hear other people's, issues. A lot of people, the world is selfish. And for you to open up your heart and your ears to people's issues, their struggles, their triumphs, their tragedies, their strengths, it's a beautiful thing. So thank you so much. I'm not going to give you the whack-ass applause, but you are amazing. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, because everybody, I'm sure, is gonna love this. This is taking off already,
Right. This is awesome. I got people hitting me in Messenger saying, "Great job, awesome." This is great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for sharing your story.
I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm faster than you, Troy. I'm cooler than you. It's all right. She my friend. She my best friend.
Listen, she my best friend. Go best friend. That's my best friend. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna follow. Are you still there, Neil? No, I didn't hear you say nothing. You still there?
I think she dipped on us. It's okay. Love you.
No
Thank
problem.
you for calling.
We love you, girl.
Still here.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for calling in. You really made our night tonight. This is only the beginning. I challenge you. Don't forget what I said. Please do that Facebook thing. Yeah, start with that. And think about it. Once you already got your own followers and listeners. Think about how once you create that and the world is open up to, now you got your own page to share and you can share on that page. Come on, you popping.
Yes. Well, if anybody pick it up, it's called Special Needs Cause and Effect on Facebook.
Awesome.
Yes, that's what I was getting ready to do. Last one. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
And we'll definitely shout you out. We'll promote you and everything. So when you get that page up, let us know. We will, shout you out on all our announcements every week. We will definitely want to have that outlet for people that are struggling. And thank you so much for wanting to be that platform. And so if you get your page set up and you have, any branding, please throw it our way and we'll definitely get it out to the people.
Definitely. And thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vic. You're a victor now. Don't forget.
Have a good night. Troy,
So
so
yes.
are you
So at the
happy
end of
with
the day,
Free Yourself?
guys, yes, ma'am.
Are you happy with Free Yourself? No,
Yes,
guys.
I'm.
We're not talking to the crowd right now. I'm talking face to face, you and I, okay? I'm looking you dead in the eyes, and I'm holding your shoulders, and I'm saying to you, sir, and no one's here. Listeners are not here. It's just you and I. Are you happy with how this is going? Just pretend no one's listening. Are you happy with what you created, this beautiful creation, which is Free Yourself, and at a platform for everybody to kind of be who they are and let the world know what's been hurting them or dragging them down? Are you happy, and what do you hope for the future?
I am ecstatic. I'm screaming on the inside. I really am. This is
Aw.
amazing. I've always had a vision and a dream, and everything's coming to full fruition and the full circle. And I'm very, very proud to say I'm part of Savage Media Radio. I'm very proud that I was able to start here and really hit the ground running and be a part of the team. And Coco, shout out to you for just sticking with me and saying, "I got you, Troy. Let's get it." I really
Aw,
love
of
it.
course, sweetheart. Of
You're
course.
doing it
We love
all.
having you
Let's go.
here.
Thank you so much. She on 5 shows, y'all. Shout out to her, yo. She's doing it. But you know
It's a
what?
lot of
At the end
work,
of the day,
but it's my happiness. It's my happy place.
and I see it. And this is a great. I need you on Free Yourself some little bit more. But I'm
I
not saying it
got
has
you.
to be all the time. But I've definitely for these next couple of weeks. I'm saying. I really need you to be where you are right now because I feel like the balance between you and I and what's going on is really great. And I love the female balance in it too. Because sometimes I can talk and be me, and I just love the fact that it gives me something until we get the process fully the way we want to. I would love to have you for the next couple of weeks at least. Just join me and make this happen. I'm so happy. I'm so excited, and this is only the beginning. And for anyone listening, currently right now, or anyone who's going to listen, I just want to let you know that the world we're living in today is not easy to live in. It's not an easy place to live in, and we want to be able to allow you to really be free. And in order to be free, the first process starts with you believing that you can do it and nobody else can stop you. Tell yourself, I can do it and you can't stop me. That's where it all starts, y'all. And if I have to say that after every segment, after every week after week, I will do it. It starts with you saying, I can do it and you can't stop me. It's not your mama, your cousin, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, the dog, the cat. It's none of that. It's you. You can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it, and nobody else can stop you from doing that. Don't put ceilings on, don't put caps, don't put nothing on your dreams and your creativity. Be who you are, because being free don't cost you no money. It's 100% free to be yourself. So
I love it.
that,
I love it.
Free Yourself Saturday nights at 7 p.m. with Savage Media Radio, Troy Weeks Music, and Miss Coco Blue.
Sounds good, guys. Peace out. Thank you for listening.
Thank you guys for listening. Until next week, please don't be shy. Leave us messages on Instagram. Email us savageonair@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what's up. Let us know if you have something you want to call in about. It is what it is. We're here for you.
Yes.
We're here to free you.
We're only doing this for you guys, okay? We want
only
you
doing this
guys
for
to
you.
be happy.
I want you guys to be happy. And we have to end. I don't know how you end exactly Friday nights, but I love how we end on Wednesday. So I'm gonna end it the same way and say, stay savage, ladies and
Stay
gentlemen.
savage, everybody. Bye.
Bye.